oh my God, I'm gonna be a mom. Get the to the hospital for my water broke.
I was concerned. I felt like I was heartless. Lockdown started. COVID begun.
He accidentally took my bag where I had my insulin 10 centimeter dilated, but we're still not coming up on the system.
Yeah, baby number 3 next year, maybe.
Next year. Hopefully.
Hopefully. What's happening, guys? It's me.
I'm Wifey.
Today we got something different for you. This is for mothers, fathers, people out there who've gone through pregnancy and
going through a pregnancy right now.
Going through pregnancy, or had gone through pregnancy in lockdown even, because that really relates to us. Or you're a new couple, young couple, and pregnancy's coming up. Either way, this is for you.
Just newly married. So we were in Manchester and there was a restaurant called Nawab's.
Nawab is fire.
The best restaurant we had so far.
Stockport Road, Manchester. I think they've changed the name now, but it's an incredible, incredible place.
And for some reason I said to my husband, I'm going to be sick. At this point, I didn't know about my periods coming through. I totally forgot about that because I was so busy concentrating on everything else. He went to the bathroom, was sick. He came and helped me, and then he was like, all right, we'll see how it is. He thought it was food poisoning at first. Next day, these like had like a pizza party at home, got a lot of pizzas, and then I went upstairs again being sick again.
Waste of a pizza.
So he decided to go on, okay, let's go and do a pregnancy test. Got a Clear Blue digital one that tells you exactly how far you are.
2 of them, I think.
Went to the bathroom, had the pregnancy test. We waited and waited, turned it around, and we looked at each other at this point. I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a mom. He was so excited. The first person he called was his dad. His dad was buzzing because it was his first grandchild. So it was from morning, wake up, eat, I'm in the bathroom. Lunchtime, while I'm making something, I'm in the sink. Tea time, I'm in the sink. Evening, I'm in the bushes or in the garden, you know, the bathroom or something, because we were constantly out and about.
If I recall correctly, because of the sickness, we flew to Isle of Man because the boat, of course, in the Irish Sea is all over the place. I get really seasick. I'm proper bad for it.
So we thought if we get the plane, I should be fine.
Yeah, we 20-minute flight.
Yeah.
You know, you can hold it, right?
Did we know as soon as we landed, got out of the airport, I'm sick in the bushes outside the airport.
Literally the front door, the main entrance that every passenger walks to and through.
I'm sick straight away.
If you look a few inches to the right there, you know, you might see some stains.
Okay, hopefully, you know, they say that you have 3 months sickness, it should stop. But God help me on that one because it did not stop. Constantly having morning sickness throughout the whole day for 7.5 months. I had weird cravings. My cravings was fish, veg,
Watermelon.
There was an incident I had with watermelon. I ate the whole watermelon.
No. Let's go a bit deeper into that. I was cutting up watermelon because I'm a fruit eater. You're not.
Yes.
And so I cut myself a bowl of watermelon, and you just said, I'm craving watermelon, I want it. I said,
this is while I was in bed.
I said, okay, no problem, here you go, have it. So she's eating a watermelon, I go back, chop some more, and I got a nice bowl for myself. She'd finished her bowl, I want more, so I gave them the second bowl that I made. I went to go make another one. Again, I want another one, so I gave her a third bowl, and I said, okay, well, no more after that. And let's just say that her system had rejected it.
I'm not saying it was a bathroom situation.
It wasn't a bathroom situation.
I was going to say it was a gas situation.
It was a, I'm not sleeping in this bedroom tonight because I need a gas mask situation.
That was a really toxic gas mask.
Yeah.
But the only way to get rid of that smell,
we used
was air purifiers. I had 2 in that room to get rid of it.
Yeah, so we actually use these Chinese air purifiers. I mean, some people say that they're bullshit. Some people say that they work. For us, they worked.
They were amazing. I'm also diabetic type 2. My sugar levels were always high.
Yeah.
So I always had to put insulin. And I did that, kept with the diet, kept with everything. My iron was low, so I didn't need the drip, just had the tablets. Extreme constipation, I had hemorrhoids. A lot of females can, you know, go through what I'm going
It
through.
looked horrible.
It's a horrible situation. He had a Q7 and a lot of people wanted to go out for the run.
I bought that car before we knew about the
Before we
pregnancy.
knew, yeah.
I just always wanted a Q7, so I bought it, loved the car, and then found out you were pregnant and thought, oh my god, this is perfect. Everything can go into it.
Yeah, it was a perfect family car basically. While he was out, my sugar level hit to the rooftop. He accidentally took my bag where I had my insulin, my strips and everything, and I passed out. And luckily I
raced back, obviously.
Yeah, he raced back up, but luckily I had friends at that point who knew I was diabetic, gave me drink, boosted up my sugar level, I was back.
And just to add a bit of context here, of course, the moment that we found out about the pregnancy and we went on the plane and got back to Isle of Man, it was very shortly after we got back that lockdown started. COVID begun basically at that moment. So we're very early into a pregnancy and COVID started. So we were the only people on the Isle of Man out of our family. So it was just me and her. And we were pretty freshly married, so we didn't really have 100% trust there with each other.
We hardly knew each other.
Yeah, we pretty much hardly knew each other. We'd spoken online for many months, but we hadn't spent one-on-one time together. That was still fully fresh, let alone being on an island in lockdown when you have no family around you. Coupled with the fact that she was vomiting, well, multiple times per day, and you had hemorrhoids, it obviously comes across as a very negative situation. But I do have to stress that when you add into the mix, you feel on your own, you're building trust with someone who you're hoping everything goes well with, and you're experiencing all this pain and difficulty, but every single step, you know that it's all going towards the right thing, like the right. It's like the right investment. Yeah. Everything you're doing is for love. Everything you're doing is absolutely worth it. And she soldiered through it like a trooper. And I helped as much as I could. When she was vomiting, she was puking up. I'm there with a burger, chomping away. Rubbing her back at the same time. It doesn't bother me at all, thankfully.
But there were some good parts, I can say, like first pram we got, first cot we got,
it's exciting.
First clothes we got.
The Tommy Tippy milk bottle maker, we had that because
lifesaver.
It was a lifesaver. I mean, we had a lot of people, a lot of reviews we saw as well saying, "Is you really need it?" And yes, it makes it. If you have it available, absolutely get it.
I'll 100% get that again. I'll 100% get the Tommy Tippy breast pump. I'll happily get the Tommy Tippy bottle sterilizer.
Just on the breast
they
pump.
They were amazing.
Just on the breast pump. Don't watch her because you won't want to,
Oh, forget watching her. Don't sit next to her because all you feel is vibration constant zzz, 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 going off every 2 seconds.
No, all the love will go out the window. That's what I'm going to say.
He's joking, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It was very supportive when it came to that. This is the point where lockdown had eased the rules so we could meet up in tents, have people come into the house. Yeah. We were the first people, like the first city or the country to have eased the rules.
Yeah, officially speaking, Isle of Man was meant to be the first place in the world, or one of the first in the world, to, in quote, defeat the virus. So they said it was either zero or very little, enough to the point where lockdown was fully released. We had, I mean, by the time Noah was born, we had no restrictions.
Zero.
We didn't have to wear masks in the hospital, nothing. Everything, you can go out clubbing, do what you want. But the only strong limitation still for a long time was you could not leave the island and no one could come to the island, which obviously prevented family. So we count our blessings where we can, but at the same time that created that situation. Meanwhile, in the UK, they were all still locked down. Everywhere else in the world, they were still locked down. So whilst we could do what we wanted, it did definitely help the birthing because there were no limitations. We were just able to go and do everything as normal.
Yeah, so around 7 months, obviously that's when lockdown eased for Isle of Man, so we could go in public, meet friends. We were just on a long walk. 2 days later, after that walk, my water broke. Instead of doing full 9 months, I was meant to do 8 months. So Noah would have been born on my birthday, the way they said it.
That was the due date on your birthday, yeah.
October the 6th.
October 6th was the due
but,
date.
But my water decided to break. So as soon as my water broke, we went straight to the hospital.
Yeah.
I was in hospital 6 days, 7 days. I went to hospital when my water broke. I had a sweep done. I was only 2 centimeters at that point. It's like, okay, that's fine. I was there. my contractions started. For some reason, the monitor was not picking up any of my contractions.
Now imagine if the nurses turn around to you and say, you're not contracting.
I do give the credit to the hospital because they helped me.
No, they were brilliant.
Amazing. Had beautiful nurses.
Yeah,
they were helping me. But it did bug me the night before Noah was born. I was contracting to the heavy point. And he wasn't there at that point because they had a restriction time. So I think it was around 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah. Now this was about 11, 12 o'clock. I was contracting heavy to the point where I felt like I was pushing, I was dying. I was contracting every 15 minutes, passing out, waking up, contracting, passing out, waking. It was constantly like a routine. She came in, she goes, you are distressing the others and we will send you home in the morning. Obviously I was on the phone to him. Oh my God, come on, tell me what's going on. I told him the whole story. The next morning, they know I was born, so 31st of August.
6th of October was due date. He was born in August. Yeah. End of August. That's how early he came.
Yeah. Midwife came, checked me, because I was pushing. She helped me stand up, I nearly collapsed. At that point, I didn't know what I was doing. I said to her, I feel like I'm pushing. When you know you're pushing, it feels like you need a... The main doctor came. Imagine the night before, I was only 2 centimeters dilated. Imagine that.
You were 2 centimeters for many days.
Many days.
Yeah.
I'm fully dilated. What the hell are you talking about? I checked her last night. She's only 2 centimeters. Goes, she's fully dilated. Contact your husband so I could come. I was like, okay. This is exactly the words that I said. I am fully dilated. Get the f to the hospital. Hurry the f up.
Get here now. The heating was on, and of course that's the last thing I'm thinking about. So
you forgot about it.
I forgot about it. I just grabbed my keys, I sprinted out the door, closed the door, locked it, ran to the cars. The problem was I had 3 cars at the time. What's going to get me there fastest? Now I had the supercharged V8 and I thought that's probably the quickest, but then I thought traffic, all the obvious stuff. I picked the Q7. I thought I'll take a big 4x4. So I flew to the hospital.
At this point, I was moved to the delivery room.
She was in the delivery room. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew that Noah was going to arrive any minute. I got there literally just in time. Just in time. So, in the delivery room and straight in there. Yeah.
As soon as he got in the delivery room, 100% very supportive. Can't fault that. You know when you're on gas and air, the partner's like, oh no, stop it. You're going to get dizzy. You're going to get sick. It was like, no, carry on. You need it.
Oh yeah, you know, whatever you need, you do what you got to do.
You got to do what you do. No epidural. They got very confused why I was contracting fully 10 centimeters dilated, but we're still not coming up on the system.
Yeah, this is the key point now, which is that the reason the staff were insisting that she was making noise, there was no actual contractions going on, was because the monitors that she was plugged into never read that she was actually contracting. It did not pick up anything. Even in the delivery room, until the actual moment of pushing, it did not pick up any contractions, which is completely ludicrous. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense because there was 0 contraction on there. I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Problem was, you could see Noah's head. Pop out, go in.
Yeah.
Pop out, go in.
Yeah.
Constantly kept doing that. Something's not right. I see what the problem is. Stick to your gas and air. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And I was like, all right, you know, I'm high as a kite at this point. Don't know what planet I'm on. But I still can hear it, still sense everything. And all I feel was a sharp needle going. And they had to numb the area. And they had to cut me. At this point, they had to use forceps.
Yep, drag him out.
Drag him out, basically. When the doctor told me to push, I screamed. I screamed on top of my lungs. At this point, I'm like, okay, this is not me. I wasn't going to scream this loud, but I screamed on top of my lungs. He even got deaf. Found out Noah was back to back.
Yeah, he did a 180 in there, and nobody could pick up the fact that he was the wrong way around, and so that's why
they didn't pick him up on the monitor.
That's why the monitors didn't pick him up, because he was back to back. So if this is kind of common, you still were confident in telling us that we had no contractions?
When he came, that was an amazing moment. Having him on my chest, hearing him cry for the first time.
That got me.
Oh my God, father cut the cord. Yeah. They stitched me up, went back to my bedroom in a wheelchair, had some nice food. Me panicking, where's my child at this point? Because I didn't know he went to Scooby unit at that point. They told me that he's a special unit, we're going to take you there. I saw my son for the first time. He had happy tears, just to let you know. He's not going to admit it. There was a happy tear.
The kitchen area was open, someone was cutting onions.
He doesn't like to show it. He doesn't like to say it.
One thing I have to make clear, and this is for all the fathers out there, especially all the first-time fathers. You may not have had what I had. I was actually concerned about my lack of emotion in the very beginning. The pregnancies, the many months leading up to it, I was excited, happy, supportive, all the obvious. And I was very, very excited to feel the feeling of becoming a father. I was concerned. I felt like I was heartless for the basic reason of I didn't feel anything. I was in the delivery room. She was screaming away. She's pushing. He's slowly coming out. I can see him coming out. I'm watching the head, watching everything, and I'm not feeling anything. And at this point, I'm questioning my own emotions as a new father, because I've always wanted to be a dad. I've always wanted a family. That's been the biggest thing for me. As he was coming out, I was really confused, but it was premature. The moment that his body was fully out and dropped out of her, my heart skipped. And that was nothing I could control. That was just an instant boom. It hits you. The protective instinct kicked in at that second. It didn't kick in before that. I was not in that same league before that. And the moment his body fully dropped out of her, I was a changed person entirely.
That's when his tear dropped, and he could admit it.
That's when they started cutting the onions.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
And so that from that moment, that was it. I just, all I was thinking was Noah. It changed. Of course, I was checking up on her, talking to her, making sure she was okay, telling her how amazing she's done, because she had, obviously, pure soldier, being through all that extra stuff. Of course,
imagine no medicine, as in like the only thing I took was diamorphine because the amount of extreme pain I was, because of him being back to back.
It was justified considering the pain
but
that you had.
anything else, nothing.
You were contracting for 5 days straight.
5 days straight. 5 days straight.
It was outrageous, and
Yeah.
but unfortunately, that's just the way that her body was working at the time, and that's what she had to work with. But she managed it. But
at some point, I was really considering C-section.
you asked for it.
I asked for it, but they go no.
They refused the C-section, of course.
They knew that I was only talking out of pain, and I'm going to regret it later on. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I didn't do that, because he had jaundice, and
Common.
Yeah, and he was on the blue light. So I picked him up, latched him on, breast milk. He latched on amazing. It was so heartwarming. You got to change Noah's nappy.
Yeah.
First
time.
ever nappy.
Did not know what I was doing.
Wow. I didn't want to be controlling by you're doing wrong, but we did have a best midwife in the Scooby unit.
Oh, she was brilliant.
Beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Amazing, soul-hearted, you know what?
Patient. 6 pounds 3. He was 34.5 weeks, and he came out 6 pounds 3.
Imagine if I was full term.
Yeah.
It'd been a big baby.
He was supposed to be in there for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And
they
they
put him
said,
down for 3 weeks.
yeah, that's what he was supposed to. That's normal for him. But they did all the checks, and after 3 days, just said
3 days.
He's passed everything. Like everything, he's perfect.
Yeah.
Just take him home. Like he does not need to be here.
He doesn't need to be there. So obviously,
he was the talk of the ward, wasn't he? At the time, everyone his photo went up on the wall.
His clothes, because it was 0 to 3 months, did not fit him. They were massive. Had a beautiful Isle of Man friends.
Oh, do you know what the friends that they
amazing. I can't never forget them. They were there thick and thin for me, to be honest. The whole pregnancy, everything.
Yeah.
Stepped in home. 2 of the girls, they decorated the house.
Yep.
Welcome home, baby boy. Everything. One thing I did say to the midwife before I left the hospital, I see you next year. Guess what happened? I saw them next year again.
Well, do you know what?
After I'll be honest with you, after the second time, I did not say them words again. I said to them, I see you soon. I am proud to be their mom, proud to have my husband by my side. He's done amazing, top to bottom, raising them up, helping me around the kids, the house, everything. If I had to marry him all over again, I'll do it in a heartbeat. If I've got to have more kids with him, he's the only person I'll have kids with him, hopefully next year.
The blessing. Yeah, baby number 3 next year, maybe.
Next year. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But I will say this. The first pregnancy with Noah, it was significant for us as a married couple for the primary reason that it proved that we work as a team. It proved that we work. The trust, everything just...
It naturally built up, and you know, it's been... During the whole pregnancy with him, I really hope that this story has not traumatized you. Every pregnancy is different, always remember that. allow your partner to support you, be there for you. You're not alone. If you had a traumatized pregnancy, you're not alone. If you had a traumatized birth, you're not alone. We're all here to work together and be a team. So feel free to comment down any of your past traumas about the pregnancy, good parts, bad parts, everything. Would love to hear your stories.
Yeah. And for all the fathers out there, you're the only person who knows how you need to be as a father. So as long as you know you're doing that, keep going.
Also, you do what your gut tells you to do.
Yeah.
Because when you become a parent, your gut is always right.
Don't let anyone tell you how to be a parent. You lay down the terms.
Yeah.
You decide how you're going to be a parent, and that's you.
I would love to hear your stories and connect with you.
Definitely. And guys, thanks so much for supporting our journey, what we're doing. Drop a subscribe. We've got a lot more coming your way.
And hopefully we hear from you soon.